If you can, get a good angle and pause it. I apologize. I'll read it to you. Writing on page 10 in the introduction, it says, the main purposes of this book are to document extensive human rights violations by American psychiatrists over the last 70 years, to prove that these violations were pervasive, which means all over, systematic, which means, it's part of the system, right? It's reoccurring, and in a calculated manner, perhaps, and involved leading psychiatrists and medical schools. To counter claims that the violations happened in an earlier time with different ethical standards, with different moral standards, perhaps, is a good substitute. They violated the Hippocratic Oath in the Nuremberg Code. To call for a systematic review of these violations by government and the profession of psychiatry. So this is written by a psychiatrist who, for the most part, when it comes to psychiatrists not treating patients fairly, sees in my way and says that there's a military reason for it. And you see the psychological associations as well as psychiatric ones are involved. So I've made it clear that eugenics is respected in America subtly, but it's there for the most part, because when you Google it, by the social controllers at least, when you Google it, it says that the Nazis stigmatized eugenics, and I showed you that in the other video, not too many videos ago, and that it came from a Greek word, Greco-Roman, right? Plato, 10 Tables of Rome, eugenics. Francis Galton, a eugenicist, coined the term, just like the Masons in the CIA, right, and the OSS, Roosevelt and Truman, right? Truman started the CIA, and Roosevelt started the OSS, and Truman said that his office as Mason was above his office. It was more important to him than his office as president. Not in those words. Now, when you look at this, it makes it clear that they're all working together as a white power structure for eugenics. That's why this continues, and that's why the white establishment does not review psychiatry. They're making a killing, by rolling the die and using different little things here and there, little tweaks in the environment, which is called social Darwinism, from a racist white-skinned elite, whether they're Jews, whites, or white-skinned Asians. They're the main ones doing it. I'm not racist. I'm part white. I'm not racist. They're the ones doing it. And we all have to suffer because you won't stand with me and prove their point wrong definitively. Because part of their point is that martial arts proves mind, body, and soul. They want you to be peaceful, but not be a Christian, because you'll find that Christianity is an Afro-Asiatic Hebrew, religion and dialect. Black people, where they overlap with Middle Asians and Semites, started this religion. People that look like me. And because science has proven that definitively, and they're having a hard time covering it up, they have decided to push you away from Christianity and destroy the church from within. So you become a Buddhist or some kind of corporate-friendly philosophy that allows them to control sex and murder our children without you resisting them. And that's part of why it's Highway 1, One World Order, to Santa Cruz. And then you have McGregor, Street or Ave or whatever. And of course, eventually McGregor, it's not just foreshadowing, it's saying this is how it is. That's why it happens in the future. This is how they think, and this is going to happen again and again. The McGregors, the Irish, the Scottish, these Romans, these Greeks, these Jews, these white Chinese, and where they overlap, these Japhethians, time and time again, are going to use psychology and the Grand Lodge of Masonry, which is in the same area as the main psychological operations. You have the Sons of Italy Lodge in Frisco right there as well. The Franciscans tortured Jews in camps, but which Jews? Jews that didn't see it their way, people who didn't leave during the Havana Agreement. This is about temple philosophies and not race, and they confuse you by covering it up by saying it's about race. There are racial components, but it's about God versus the devil, the soul brother versus the other, who is known as the devil, because he's one sick, leprous motherfucker. Thank you.